may think me odd for recording in the bathtub, and you know what? They would be completely and 100% correct. Hey guys, I'm Kat and welcome to my channel and welcome to my bathtub. Why are you in your bathtub, you might ask? Well, it's because I wanted to do a little story time, and also I was bored and remembered I needed to make a video for this Friday. There's no shame. So this story is going to be about my second job at Arby's, and I know, a whole story time isn't all that, original, but I just what I wanted to do, so don't judge me and So, my second job was at Arby's, and it was dreadful, and I really hated it, and I had a thing with smelling like oil and fries and shame that I wasn't a big fan of. And while I worked there, I was the maintenance person for a while. I would work Monday through Sunday, and I would have to be there at 8 a.m. every day to make this restaurant pretty, or as pretty as a fast food restaurant could possibly be. And one of the things that I had to do as the maintenance person was I had to clean the fryer where we made all the curly fries and mozzarella sticks and all the hash browns and the popper things with all the cheese. I just realized that I'm really, really hungry. The only way to actually clean the fryer was you have to drain all of the nasty ass gross old oil and put it in these blue barrels behind the building, and then you have to, of course, turn off the machine, but the machine is still very, very hot, so you have to put on this giant like moon glove thing to protect yourself, which I could still feel the heat through the glove. And at our Arby's, we only had one, and it was usually the left glove. And just so you know, I'm right-handed, so that was a bitch. So I've got the moon glove on, and I'm holding this stupid piece of paper towel because I'm supposed to wipe out the excess oil. Then I have to take this metal thing and scrub it all out and make it all shiny. And I'm doing that, and of course I burn myself at least 5 times before I'm done. And after that, you're supposed to clean like this filter box that's underneath, and it catches all of the crumbs that are gross. And you have to take it out, rinse it out, and then put it back. Well, this is where it kind of took a turn for me, because it kind of went bad. Now, before you put the new oil in, you're supposed to shut the valve. Well, I didn't do that, and I put the filter box back in, and I started to try to fill up the fryer hole things, or whatever they're called, and I didn't understand why it wasn't filling. I didn't understand why the oil kept going down. It was like, there's no way this thing takes this much oil. So I didn't understand, and then I looked down at the open, like where I could see all the insides of the fryer, and I noticed that the valve is still open. So I realized that, well, the oil had to go somewhere, so I pulled the filter box out, and this entire filter box was filled basically to the top, almost spilling over with all of this new, brand new, very expensive oil. And I had no idea what to do with it. My manager's office is like literally right next to the fryer, but there's no window, so she couldn't see what I was doing. And there were 3 other people there talking to her, and I had to figure out how to get this filter box out, take it from the fryer all the way to the back to the sink, and pour the oil out before she noticed, then get the filter box back, grab a new oil thing, and hope to God that she doesn't notice. So I'm over there trying to take the box at any angle. I tried to slide it, I tried to pull it, I tried to pick it up, and believe me, that filter box is already heavy enough by itself, and then you add a shit ton of oil and it just makes it impossible to lift. So I tried to pull it and a bunch of it came out and just sloshed all the way, all over the floor, the whole way to the back of the sink. So not only am I panicking because I just wasted a shit ton of oil, but I'm panicking because I'm leaving the evidence in a trail following me to the back where the sink is. So I had to figure out some kind of excuse to tell my manager why there's a shit ton of oil on the ground. So while I'm trying to lift up this heavy motherfucker and pour it out, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I'll just tell her that I accidentally spilled some, or I'll just tell her that it got on my feet, a lot of it got on my feet, which would be really stupid because that was an excess amount to get on my feet. And I was just praying to God that she wouldn't come out until I was done. Pour out all the oil, I rinse it out, it goes down the sink, and I'm like, okay, this might actually work out. So I'm walking back to put the filter box back in and I slide, like I ice skate across because this oil, when people say non-slip shoes, I don't know what the hell they mean because I've had all kinds of non-slip shoes and every single one has caused me to slip more than my normal shoes that aren't non-slip. So I don't understand if I'm buying the wrong brand or if it's just some kind of stupid, like, I don't know, like some kind of, I don't know what it is, but no non-slips are actually non-slip. And that's the whole point in a fast food restaurant, is if there's oil, they're supposed to save you from slipping, but they don't. I digress. So I put the filter box back inside of the fry station, and I noticed that she's about to come out of the office, so I quickly like grab the mop as fast as I possibly can and I start mopping up this oil. And luckily, like by the time she even got to where I was done wiping up the oil, and I told her that I got some on my shoes and I just wanted to make sure I washed it up so nobody fell. And she looks at me and she goes, "Why haven't you finished the fry station yet? It doesn't take that long." Might I add, my manager was a bitch. So everything I did that was wrong, it was like World War III occurred, and she was so angry. She was the kind of person that if something personal happened in her life or she got in a fight with her husband, she'd bring it to work and like blame us for it. I told her that it was because I forgot to clean the filter box, so I had to quickly get it out. And then I quickly, like before I did anything, before I put the mop back, before I turned on the machine, I closed the valve and shut the doors to hide the little insides of the thing. And I went and put the mop back, went and grabbed more oil, poured it in like nothing happened, and for the rest of the day I was hoping and praying that somehow she wouldn't notice, because I have this thing where if I continue to think about the thing that I did wrong or the embarrassing thing that happened, somehow they're gonna know, like they're gonna read my mind and figure out that I did something wrong. But for the rest of the time that I worked there, nobody knew that that happened to me at all, ever, and they still don't. They probably will now because I decided to put this story on the internet. But I remember just feeling so freaked out because I knew that if she found out that I wasted this much oil, I was going to be epically screwed. As you can imagine, I didn't stay the maintenance person for a long time because one, I really sucked at it. At first I was badass and then eventually I really hated it and didn't care. Two, because I had to work Monday through Sunday every single day, 8 a.m. to whatever time she let me home, and it was stressful on my body and I kept getting sick. And three, she was a bitch. And four, I quit my job. So, but at first it wasn't that bad. It was actually kind of fun being the person there and being a key holder and feeling responsible and feeling like, yeah, I'm like more responsible than you are and stuff like that. But in the end of the day, it was just not for me. Might I add, and let me be a little honest with you, it kind of makes sense if she was a bitch to me though, because I was a little shit at that time and thought I could do everything and didn't need the direction, which I have obviously learned that I shouldn't do that. But you know, I was a little shit when I worked there. I know I was. For those people who can be the maintenance person all of the time, like, you know, kudos to you, gold star, because I couldn't handle it. And maybe that makes me a wimp or some kind of stupid crap like that. It gave me great hours, amazing paychecks, but for me, I think that if a job takes your soul down, destroys your happiness, then it doesn't matter the amount of money that you make, because really all that matters is your happiness and you fighting for it, because you are really the only person that can make you happy. And I don't think any amount of money is worth giving up your happiness. And working at Arby's made me depressed, so I had to quit. There you go, that's one of my embarrassing, random, stupid stories of stupid shit that I've done. And if you liked it, give me a thumbs up and I will tell you more of my stories. And yes, they will more than likely be in a very odd place, or in this bathtub. I don't know why I decided on the bathtub, but it just happened that way, and here we are. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you are interested in seeing my new videos and being notified when I make them, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, wherever direction that is, and again, give me a thumbs up. Like I completely forgot my outro. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day and a beautiful night, and this is Kat signing off. There you go. You know, I've done that so many times. You'd think that I would remember how to do it, but then there's that occasion where it's just like this does not connect to this, and it just doesn't come out the way I want it to. Hearing a lot of weird noises. Could be because people live upstairs, but it's like weird creaky noises, and I swear I heard a hissing noise outside of the bathtub. So part of me is afraid to get out. So if I die, it was nice knowing ya, and hopefully I will see you next week. Slay 'em all. You'll never